All right, I want to bring you some breaking news right now. You are looking at a police chase that is happening. This is going on in Arlington. This is I-30 that you're looking at here. We have speeds at this point reported up to 100 miles an hour as you see that dark-colored SUV just whizzing down I-30 going eastbound toward Dallas. Again, this happening around Arlington right now. And, you know, making this particularly dangerous, and you do wonder how this is going to end, Alicia, is that we do see some pretty thick traffic there because, of course, we're getting into the height of rush hour.
You're absolutely right about that, Jason. It's 4:45 right now, going on 5 o'clock Friday afternoon. You can see the SUV there starting to get caught up just a little bit in that slower moving traffic. Again, this SUV is going at speeds of 100 miles per hour right now. Very, very dangerous. And again, he's getting caught behind those cars who have no idea what's going on, Jason. This car is just whizzing behind. Here you see behind him the police cruiser now closely on his tail following. Again, this car is making its way from Arlington to Dallas eastbound on I-30. At this point, we're still waiting to hear who exactly is behind the wheel, who may be in the passenger seat or even in the back seat with this driver. This is brand new. We're bringing this to you live right now as this chase is happening on your screen.
Yeah, we apologize that we're working with few details right now other than knowing that this is happening. And of course, it is a public safety threat as we take a look at this erratic driver making their way down a crowded freeway at rush hour. One of the things, of course, that we do not know at this point is why police gave chase in the first place. We don't know why the person who's in that SUV is wanted, but you can see that police have backed off somewhat. They are continuing to follow this driver, though, making their way eastbound on I-30. As we understand it right now, it's Fort Worth police who are in pursuit, but we could expect that as this nears Dallas and goes through Arlington on its way, that we might pick up additional departments as that SUV makes its way. Now, it looks like they're in Grand Prairie now, and it looked for a moment there like they were getting off the freeway. This person throwing caution to the wind here. You can see as they pick up speed going down I-30 now, even going off onto the shoulder and then even into the grass on the side of the freeway there. So a very dangerous situation, and we will stay with this to see how this comes to a conclusion. But, you know, you really do have to feel for all of those other drivers out there. Police really unable to, you know, help people get out of the way because this is happening, you know, as we speak here. And so many of these people, as you mentioned, Alicia, had no idea what's coming up from behind them here as they make their way home on this Friday afternoon.
And that's the tough part. You can't tell them anything, Jason, because you're driving unsuspectingly and all of a sudden someone comes up behind you or passes you. And this can end very badly, again, because we see the driver is driving so quickly, 100 miles an hour now. And Jason, you mentioned how the car has been going off to the side in the grass. There are at least 4 lanes, right? And this car has been off to the grass on the right, on to the far left, then the far left lane. And it's incredible that at such high speed, going very closely there by cars, not even in official lanes during this chase, this person is driving so quickly. But you see the SUV is stopping, having to slow down a little bit. There you go, almost missed one of those hazard cones there, but just driving so recklessly, Jason, really weaving between those lanes. You can see debris sort of flying past the car as it continues to drive through. Of course, we're following this all live right now with HD Chopper 8 overhead on I-30 in Grand Prairie right now, eastbound, heading towards the Dallas area. And good to see right now that it looks like there haven't been any terribly close calls, but of course that situation could change, especially as more cars then make their way onto the roadway, because we are coming up on that evening rush.
And an interesting thing there too, if this person is looking for that off ramp to be able to, you know, throw police off a little bit more and maybe go in a different direction. You saw that off ramp that they just passed there, where you have bumper to bumper traffic getting off of the freeway there because it is such a busy time of day. And so that's definitely going to complicate things for this driver here. It's also complicating things though for police, because with the roads being as busy as they are, oftentimes we'll see them throw out like a stop stick at some point when police can get up ahead of where this driver is. But how do you throw a stop stick out there when you've got so many more cars on the road because of the time of day here? So you really do wonder how they can bring this thing to a conclusion. And boy, this person is taking all kinds of risks. And, you know, again, let's underscore it here, not just risks with their own life, but risks with the lives of all of these other people who are just unsuspectingly driving down the road here. And of course, they're also risking the lives of these law enforcement officers who are giving chase at this point. Again, we do not know why police decided to chase this vehicle as it was leaving Fort Worth, heading into Arlington, and now has gone past Arlington, past Grand Prairie, toward Dallas, trying to get a better location on where they are right now. As you can see, though, they are making up some ground pretty fast here as they get to open road here. We're now approaching Loop 12.
That's right. And, you know, we've been following this now live for about 5 minutes, and we mentioned to you we're still learning more information. That information continues to come in. And right now, once we hit Loop 12, this car will actually be in Dallas. So again, you see this SUV traveling at speeds of reaching 100 miles per hour. Still unclear who exactly is behind the wheel, who else may be in the car with that driver. But you see this SUV is weaving in and out of lanes, going onto the grass, going to the far left, moving at incredible speed. And as you mentioned, Jason, this is just such a major safety concern at this point because the car is traveling so fast and drivers have no idea what's going on until they see the Fort Worth police, who are currently pursuing this SUV, following closely by.
And you know, when you watch this, you can't help but think of the idiocy of all of this because you are endangering the lives of so many people here. And you know, we covered countless police chases like this, and I can't remember one where the vehicle made it away scot-free, got away, eluded police, and nobody ever found them. They always end up being caught. And in the meantime, before you get to the point where you are going to get caught here, you run the risk. I don't know what they're after you for in the first place, but you run the risk of actually killing people as you get to the point where you're going to get caught, because it always ends that way.
It's so unfortunate. And you know, this is why in instances just like this, it's so important when people say you need to be a defensive driver. It's not so much you as oftentimes other people on the roadways. And in this case right now, it's someone who, as you said, is throwing caution to the wind, doesn't have a care in the world, because to be traveling so quickly, weaving in and out of these lanes, I mean, it's just incredible to see. And it's so dangerous when you're going this quickly and you've got so many people on the roadway too. They have no idea what this person's doing. And you can see not even in an official lane right now. This person is not supposed to be there right now.
It's really scary too, because really it's every person for themselves out there, because again, you know, we're not seeing police actually able to get up in front of this driver at this point anyway. So they're back behind, and as you mentioned, this comes down to defensive driving skills. You know, I've got teenage drivers and I'm always on them like, hey, I haven't seen your eyes up in that mirror in the last 10 seconds, 20 seconds. This, you know, obviously, can you imagine driving along and seeing this coming up in your rear view mirror? What do you do to get out of this person's way? Because obviously they have no regard for life at this point as they are trying to elude police for whatever reason it might be. As we understand, they've just passed Cockrell Hill here, again, still on I-30 eastbound in Dallas now. This has stretched all the way across the cities here from Fort Worth, Arlington, Grand Prairie, now through Dallas as this police pursuit continues. We do know that Fort Worth police are in pursuit here. We do not know about the other agencies that may have joined in the pursuit of this dark-colored, looks like it is a black SUV of some sort here, coming up on what?
Hampton Road. We're coming up on Hampton Road right now. Again, we've been on this right now, bringing it to you live for about 7 minutes now, still waiting to figure out how exactly this chase started, when in fact it even started, but clearly it's covered several miles as it began in Fort Worth and it is now in Dallas, and we are approaching the evening rush. Several cars, we know those roadways are going to get more packed, so we're still trying to figure out these specifics. But you know, Jason, we're talking about how dangerous this is, how unsuspecting people are. You know, you can sometimes see the folks with the cell phones in their hands, but how do you even prepare? How do you even realize when someone is coming at you from behind so quickly? There's actually a police chase and you don't know what the particulars are, what that driver may have in the car with them, what the circumstances are behind the situation. So really is troubling. This is such a danger right now for folks on the roadway. But I have to say, this driver navigating fairly well considering how quickly
you do wonder though, how long can they keep this up? Because I-30 is being awfully kind to them here on a Friday afternoon at rush hour, and I don't know how experienced this driver is since they're coming from Fort Worth. Don't know how experienced they are with rush hour in Dallas, but it's not too pretty, especially on a Friday afternoon, and you're going to be coming up on some major interchanges here that might not be nearly as forgiving, and you might get hemmed in on a lot of roads like this one where you've got construction, you've got walls, and you've got perhaps bumper-to-bumper traffic coming up here. This person, though, doesn't seem to be thwarted by much of anything. We've seen them looking like they're going through an obstacle course, going through the construction cones, now down on the shoulder there. Don't seem to really care if they get out of this one alive or if anyone else does for that matter either. It looks like they've exited the freeway here on the service road at this point. This is where it really gets dangerous. Not that the rest of it hasn't been. Heading toward Riverfront right now. I know that that gets backed up, especially on a Friday afternoon. So good luck here, hopefully to everybody, to be able to get out of this person's way as they really put everyone in harm as they continue this here. This is right up on downtown Dallas.
Yeah,
now.
We're coming up in. And you know downtown Dallas is going to be a lot tougher to navigate, of course, because of those roadways. But right now the driver seems to have found a clear path and continues to travel. Again, we're told that this person is hitting speeds of over 100 miles an hour. So just to reset for you, if you're just joining us, we've been showing you this police chase live right now for about 10 minutes, which started in Fort Worth. And right now, this driver traveled eastbound on I-30 through Arlington, Grand Prairie, and is now into downtown Dallas. And you can see the black SUV, just lost it for a second, but you see police are on this driver's tail. Again, we're told Fort Worth police have been following this driver as we approach the evening rush right now, and you can see we are in the downtown area. Fortunately, right now there haven't been too many people in this driver's way. No. He's near Fuel City, we're told right now, and you can see now he's having a tougher time navigating, Jason, because those roadways are getting more congested. Yeah,
but it gets so dangerous here. Not that it hasn't been up to this point for sure, but you start going through these intersections now, and this person, you know, if prior chases are any gauge, this person won't be thwarted at all by red lights here, and you really start getting into a situation that can turn dangerous very quickly. Okay, they're under the freeway here now, and it looks okay. There we are. They're emerging again. This looks like it is, again, there's the Exxon down there that's by the Fuel City. Again, this down by Riverside, and still continuing, but now it has slowed down considerably. Looks like we're turning around now to head in the opposite direction. You know, we see this over and over again with these police chases. Again, a circle's not going to fool them either, and it has now come to an end here. Expect them to get out. There they are, weapons drawn. Have this person surrounded here. If we have to dump out, we will. Wow, some quick moving action there, busting out that window. It looks like they've got their suspect in full view now as officers bravely approaching that vehicle. Again, we have no idea why they were chasing this driver in the first place. No idea what kind of crime they were wanted for. We will dump out if we have to here from this live picture, just in case, but it looks like officers are getting this subject subdued on the ground. It doesn't look like there's anybody else in the vehicle with this person because boy, they just went right in, took that window out and yanked that person out of that SUV there, and looks like we've got somebody in cuffs now. And it looks like a woman.
We're hearing it. It looks like the driver is a woman, long blonde hair there. You see these three officers have this woman under arrest right now, being taken into police custody, going up. Looks like she's not wanting to get into the back of the police cruiser. She's sort of falling down right now, not wanting to get up. You can see the second police officer there assisting right now, trying to, this officer now open the door to get her in that police cruiser. Again, after this chase, we've been showing it to you live now for at least 10 minutes, which started in Fort Worth, ending now in downtown Dallas. These three officers here were able to arrest that driver. Again, still trying to understand the circumstances that even led to this chase. But fortunately, Jason, no other drivers were hurt, which is such a positive thing. Glad that it was able to end as safely as possible.
Always a happy ending when they don't end up taking somebody else out, when they have no regard for human life, when they are careening down the freeway and through intersections like that without even bothering to look both ways, and of course also putting the lives of those officers in danger this afternoon as well. That chase, since we joined it, lasted about 12 minutes. We don't know what the duration was before we joined in on that, and again, we still don't know why they were after that woman in the first place and why she decided to run, but she has been taken into custody. hold one second. Oh, she was being chased for depositing bad checks.
Right. So those are the initial reports. Of course,
Interesting.
more information is still coming in. So it's possibly the case where police went to confront her. She did not want to stick around for that. She got in that SUV and headed off on the road and started speeding away. But of course, you see here, Fort Worth police were able to stick with her. They were able to follow her closely. And once she got off that main roadway, Jason, once she got into downtown Dallas, that's when police were able to finally catch her. So we're fortunate that nobody else was hurt in that incident. We'll continue to bring you more information as soon as it comes in. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break.